All right, welcome back to Waste Some Time with Jason Green. I am Jason Green. Today is Monday. I wasn't so sure of that, but it is. We've been trying this daily thing. I've been trying to mix it up a little bit, and hopefully, you guys are enjoying it. The idea was that I would do one of these live shows every day at 5 o'clock, and then after the live show, premiere an episode of My Life on the Road, and we're going to do that today as well. Uh, the original concept is that if you're a member of my Patreon or you're a channel member, that you get to watch all the content before everybody else. And we will get back to that. Actually, starting tomorrow, you guys will watch videos before anyone else. But I thought it'd be a fun thing that we do this chat together, and then afterwards we go into the chat and we watch my tour diary, my life on the road videos. The final episode of the cruise, the '80s cruise. I know it felt like it was a Love and War or a hundred series mini series. Anyway, War and Peace, whatever. But it does come to an end right after this show. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. It's your show and more right after this.
Just wanna waste some time with you. Sometimes it seems too good to be true. Nobody out there can waste time with you.
Well, I'm glad to see that so many of you have tuned in because I've kind of just been coming and going. I've broke the schedule. Normally Monday, Wednesday, Friday, different times, usually the morning. And so I'm glad that you guys found this. I guess if you turn on your notifications, the little bell thing, I never ask people to do these things, but maybe that helps to know we're here. I feel like no matter what time I do the show, I'll always be dragging my feet at the last second, panicking or running late. I've gone 23 years without having a real job. People ask me, what's your greatest accomplishment? And I mean, I've done some cool things. I raised over $1 million for charity, way over $1 million for various charities: Toys for Tots, St. Baldrick's Foundation, Cystic Fibrosis Foundation. I did all kinds of ridiculous things to bring in some income, including walking a marathon when I was in no shape to do it. Raised a lot of money though. So obviously that's an important charity. I shaved my head 4 times, donated the hair to Locks of Love, and raised a lot of money for that as well. Don't think I'm going to do that one again. I'm always scared it wouldn't grow back. Um, I'm an AVN award winner, which we'll talk about on the members only channel. But I'd have to say, not having a real job in 23 years is pretty awesome. Make your own hours, do what you want, don't punch a clock, don't have an asshole to answer to. Now, listen, I know I work with bands and I tour manage and things, but that is far from a real job. And if you're tour managing correctly, you're not answering to anyone. You're doing the job that you're supposed to do. I use the word job loosely. Um, and I'm fortunate to have that. I'm fortunate to work with good people. So getting out of bed is just not my specialty. I'm fine on the road. I've never been late for a lobby call, and I'm always on time for flights. But I could do this show at 9 a.m., 2 p.m., 3 p.m. I was in bed and I didn't want to get out of bed, and I panic. And it stems from growing up in New York City. Um, Los Angeles is the worst as far as getting places, but New York's pretty bad. Um, I lived uptown Manhattan, 207th Street, the last stop on the A train, the very tip of Manhattan. If this was the map, this would be Manhattan. There'd be a little body of water. There'd be a bridge here, the 225th Street Bridge, and then the Bronx. I was born in the Bronx. Um, so to get somewhere, you have to leave about an hour to go anywhere. It didn't always take an hour, but you'd have to leave an hour. So if I wanted to go down to the village and visit my friends, go to a concert or something, I would take the A train. And if you got the A train during popular hours, then you get an express train, and that train would go. I can still remember the train stops. I haven't been on a subway in 100 years, but it would be 207th Street, then 200th Street, which is Dyckman Street. Also, Seaman and Cumming is right there. I'm not making that up. Those are real streets. 190th Street, 181st Street, 175th. Those are too close. You could probably walk. 168th Street, 145th Street, Then 125th Street, and here's where it got interesting. For those of you who aren't from a big city and haven't rode a subway, you're probably thinking, "What the hell are you talking about?" 125th would jump to 59th Street. It would just go right through the tunnel. And the only thing is, if you had riffraff in the subway car with you, you were stuck with this riffraff. There was a movie called Kids. It's one of the best movies out there by Larry Clark, written by Harmony Korine. If you haven't seen it, I recommend it. But there was a guy who comes through on the subway on a skateboard. He has no legs. And he sings a song. I have no legs. He shakes his change. I have no legs. And he was, I remember this guy. I remember all of these lunatics. There'd be people who come in, it's showtime. People start dancing. It was really, the subways were ridiculous. You never knew what you would see. I don't miss it. It's okay if I never go on a subway train again. The closest I want to get is the Johnny Thunders song. But so you'd leave yourself an hour because a crackhead could die in a car, someone could fight, something could happen. It could be an accident. Who knows? And so you left an hour. Los Angeles, I was living at Cahuenga and Yucca, Princess Grace Apartments. I think that's what it's called. And I would walk to my office that was Troma. Troma's office was on Melrose, right across from Paramount Pictures. They were in a lot called Raleigh Studios, where they filmed Saved by the Bell and a lot of other famous TV shows. Well, I would walk across town, and despite the movie Speed, nobody rides the bus, and definitely no one walks. Um, what's the Nobody Walks in L.A.? What's the band? Dale Bozio, Missing Persons. I would walk, and I'd be the only person, and then I would cut through Hollywood Forever Cemetery and pay my respects to some of my favorite people who are no longer with us. Although I felt like maybe they knew I was with them when I was visiting. I gotta excuse me, I had to sneeze. And so, and I leave an hour for that commute. So I got in the habit of leaving an hour to go anywhere. But here in Las Vegas, nothing is more than 30 minutes. And 30 minutes is ridiculous. Out where Steven lived and other people, Summerlin, 30 minutes. And that's too far. I'm 8 minutes from the airport. And so I like that. But I still am in that hour mindset. So I got to do the show at 5. I wake up and I tell myself, oh my God, I need an hour. Well, I don't really need an hour, but I've trained myself to think that way. Anyway, just some random thoughts. My mother still lives up there in Inwood, in Manhattan, and I was thinking yesterday. I'm fortunate that both my parents are still living. My mother watches the show. My father might sometimes, um, but when I meet people and I hear about their parents, I realize how fortunate I was. None of us want to admit that our parents were cool. My parents went to Woodstock. My parents listened to Led Zeppelin and the Beatles and Stones and the Who, things like that. I went to see the Grateful Dead with my father at Madison Square Garden. Got my first contact high. Went to see Jefferson Airplane at Radio City Music Hall. Grace Slick, the real deal. With both my parents, my mother and I went to see the Rolling Stones Steel Wheels tour. So, but you don't appreciate your parents. You think, well, if they like it, it can't be cool. So if my parents loved the Beatles, I loved Elvis. It was always, and I never really got Led Zeppelin. I'm still a little bitter about Led Zeppelin to this day. But look, I had to admit my parents were cool. And where they stood on issues and rights was pretty cool and definitely formed a lot of how I feel, how to treat animals, things like that. So if your parents are with you, today's a good day to give them a call and tell them that you love them, you think of them, and that you didn't realize they were as cool as they were. Unless your parents are jerks, and then don't bother. I just saved the phone call because I've got this, or get yourself a YouTube show. Talk to them that way. All right. That was a little bit of rambling. I'm going to take a look here at some of your questions and your comments. This is really your show. The goal is to have a more produced show. I'm going to buy better things and fix it up and do it right. When I started this show, it was during the pandemic, and people were easy to get to come on your show. People had nothing else to do. So I called on my friends, some of my friends who were famous, and asked kind of the favor, would you come on? And they did it. and my numbers grew and grew and grew. I will tell you, and I will thank you, that we've reached 3 million subscribers. Actually, we crashed through 3 million, way over it now. It's moving fast. Subscribers, 17,500 and something. That is going up. If you're one of the people watching who hasn't subscribed, please do that now. You can also like this video. All these things help this channel. And so, like I said, the guest thing, not everyone wants to come on these shows unless they have something to promote. Most people don't have time to kill. Now I'm competing with a million shows. Everybody has a show. Well, why do I want to compete with someone who has, 35 views? What's the point? And I've tried to keep it for you guys. I try not to interview people that I'm not interested in. If you watch me fake my way through an interview, which I could do, what does it mean? If I tell you that I like something, it's because I really liked it. Maybe you trust my opinion. Maybe we have like-minded opinions. Who knows? But sorry, I got distracted. I think they say the brain is the first to go. But anyway, I'm still having guests. There'll be some guests coming up. I'm looking for different guests. I don't want the guy who just put out some shitty death metal route record and it's on Blabber. I'm not interested. I want someone I've heard of. I want something, or more importantly, someone who has a story. Give me an interesting story. All right. Okay. Billy Bongwaters was the first in the chat today. Welcome. And he also brought his pencil. Georgia is here as usual. Thank you, Georgia. Jason Holstein, a channel member. I appreciate all of the channel members. Ned and Coco are here. They think they're tardy, but no, you guys are on time. Mike, blah, blah, blah. Julie Keller, channel member as well. Thank you for being here. And Lorraine is working. Hi, Lorraine. Nice to see you. She's working in her arcade today. All right. And Jason says he's digging the daily thing. I don't know how long I can keep it up. Eventually, I got to go back on the road, and then it'll be different. But let's do what we can while we can. And I'm glad to build a channel. California Dreaming says, "Welcome, friends and enemies." We learned a little bit about California Dreaming in the chat. I never know who's a guy, who's a girl, who's old, who's young. But I like when everyone sort of tells me about themselves. My life is an open book, for better or for worse. So I'm happy to find out a little bit about you guys and where you're watching from. Jim Gallagher, for example, is watching from the Midwest. I feel like I'll be in the Midwest a lot this year. Hello, Colleen. Hey, Randall. Hey, Chris. Okay. And California Dreaming is saying hello from her bed, which is nice. And we have a new channel member, Ron Grande. Thank you so much, Ron, for becoming a channel member, and give my best to Ariana. Okay. Just trying to go through this. I can't get to every single. Yeah, take the A train. That's right. I can't get through every single thing, but great. It is a great Johnny Thunders album. Yes. Lorraine says her kid went to college in New York, just north of the city. He was excited to tell me he was officially a New Yorker when he visited Parents' Day. He got his first MTA card. Those cards didn't even really exist when I was there. We used tokens. Somewhere around here, I have this limited edition Ramones subway token that you can wear. But she's talking about the Metro card. I wasn't really around for that much. Hey, Mark Sanchez is here. Nice to see you. Lorraine's saying hello to my mother, who is watching. She doesn't usually comment, which is okay, but she is watching. This is a question that's going to be popular today. I didn't even read it. I just saw the one name. What do you think of Long Crusade touring playing RATT songs? I will answer that in a minute. And I knew my phone has blown up all morning. That has been the topic. Yes, it's Denise. Hi, Denise. Nice to see you. And we'll talk about this in a second. Yeah, look at this. Angie's mom is 80 and still loves Alice Cooper. Not bad. Alice Cooper's not far from 80 himself. I would say that Stephen Pierce is the voice of RATT. Yes, I would agree with that. Trying to get through it. Question: watch Steven's interview with Mark Gurman. What were the Adams Ant songs he picked? I don't remember. We put so much effort into it, but I don't remember. I think there's a video out there somewhere that plays them uncensored, but it's not mine because I got copyright issues to deal with. Tonight's video the amount of editing that I had to do. It was supposed to come out Friday, but I just couldn't. The air supply just really wanted to ruin your party. MJ, hello from Salt Lake City, Utah. I will be in Salt Lake City, Utah on April the 4th with Stephen Piercy. We're going to be at the Autorama car show. And we're going to get some great content, make a great video for you guys because they also have the Evil to Knievel display there. A lot of Evil Knievel's cool stuff. I was fortunate to meet Evil Knievel several times. Went to his birthday party once. I had some of his evil cake. Anyway, so I'll be in Utah. If you want to stop by, you know where to go. Dude Man is in Allentown, Pennsylvania. Billy Joel knows all about it. Jason Holstein is a 53 white guy from Wisconsin. He apologizes. I don't think you have to apologize. Lisa, hello from Whittier, California. Lisa is one of the few people that I've actually met in person several times at the Rainbow Bash at the Whiskey. And I appreciate you watching, Lisa. ASL, I forget what that means. Age, sex, location. Got it. Took me a second. Youngblood Vlogs, 61 years old and male. Sorry. George is in Colorado. No plans for Colorado right now. I'm a little surprised. Will you ever interview Lizzie Borden? I think so. I think so. He lives here in Vegas. Just haven't really got around to it, but I think it will happen. Boa G is in Los Angeles near Burbank, home of Wednesday 13, and Matt Thorne. Wednesday 13 will be here on Wednesday. Imagine that. Happy 77th, Elton John. Yes. What is Blotz up to? Not sure. I'm just trying to get through everybody's stuff as much as I can, and then we'll. Queensryche, Wednesday at the House of Blues in Anaheim, but might go see Kim Gordon. Kim Gordon, I like. Queensryche, silly. The band Queensryche, the songs are written by Jeff Tate and Chris DeGarmo, majority of them. Neither one of those guys is in the band. I just don't get paying to see a bass player and a second guitar player. I don't know. It's not for me. But what can you do? Jay is just jumping on. He's saying hello. All right. So a lot of people are asking about, Jason A is a 53-year-old man, white male. It sounds like you fit a lot of profiles from Tennessee. 59. Ed is in Sparks, Nevada. We have a show in Sparks, Nevada. I think with Skid Row. No comment. Chris, 56 years old. Pigtown Palooza is where we met. Well, great. I hope that was a fun one, I think. Yeah, WD-40. Michelle would like to point out that she knew the name of the band was UB40 and that she did do that for my benefit. And I hate to say that the tour diaries are staged, but I thought it would be funny if she said it on camera with a straight face. One of Michelle's qualities, of there's many, is she can deliver with a straight face. People say, how come, thank you so much, a new channel member, Jim Gallagher, welcome aboard. I'm so glad that you could join us. People say, oh, Michelle never smiled. The same thing they used to do to Johnny. How come you don't smile? Why does everyone have to smile? What if you're smiling inside? I'm smiling right now. You can't tell, but I am. But yes, she doesn't have to smile every second. Sean is 55 and in Mesa, Arizona. Angie is Marshall 65. I'm 58. Laugh about that's you're a couple profile, I believe. Yes, 56. Yeah, it is looking like a the problem is I don't think I'll remember any of this. That's the. I think Frankie from King of the Hill would be a great interview. Frankie, I used to see him here in Vegas all the time when Sin City Sinners had a residency. He did too. I just don't think anyone would know who he is. But maybe he has a good story. Jason says Michelle is hilarious the way she reacts to you. I do think that that is one of the great things that she does. Or the eye rolls and things are funny. All right. What do I know? Question from Henderson. Well, hello, Wayne. Saying hello. Story behind Milton Berle and the Round and Round video. Yeah, rats. Well, for years there was all this talk that he was Stephen Piercy's father or he was his grandfather, and then Milton was related to this. The truth is that Rat's manager was a guy named Milton Berle, and his grandfather, I believe it's grandfather, might have been Uncle Milty, was Milton Berle, and that's how they got him to do the videos. Okay. All right. So a lot of people asking about Juan. So today, an ad mat came out for the other voice of Rat, Juan Crucier, playing all the Rat hits. I can't say too much about it because I work with Rat, because I work with Stephen Piercy. So if there was anything I knew, it would be like insider trading, and I can't really say anything. What about the future of Rat? Could you see Rat on stage again? Could you see a version of Rat on stage again? I couldn't tell you if I knew. I might know, but I can't tell you. Uh, I think what probably most think one version of Rat is stupid. I wouldn't go see it. You know what I mean? Why? Why? The other voice of Rat would be Jizzy Pearl. For 7 years, Jizzy Pearl sang lead for Rat, good or bad. Like it or not. I mean, whatever. I like Jizzy Pearl. So who needs to see the bass player for Rat dancing and looking stupid and acting stupid? That's my opinion. Um, but I feel like I'm giving my opinions and dancing around it a little bit. If he has the right to do it, why not? He wrote some of those songs, co-wrote, and he sang background vocals. I mean, I couldn't imagine. Could you imagine going to see background vocals? Could you imagine Michael Anthony touring as the other voice of Van Halen? I mean, it seems ridiculous, but um, and it's silly and it's embarrassing. And if you watch most things Juan did, they fit that that description. Juan's band is a bunch of nobodies. You know, it says Juan is all talk, but he does have shows. Not many, and one of the names of the places was so funny. If you look if you look at Juan's dates, if someone has it nearby, the name of the last place is like Sideshow Bob's Wacky House of Fun, or I don't know, something like that. Uh, Mary has a very common question. How does the band gear and drums get to your show since you all fly in? Well, it's a backlot. We play on a rented a gear. So the venue in the contract is responsible, the promoter, to go and rent exactly what we need. And so that is how that gear gets there. Most of the bands, if you watch my tour diaries, My Life on the Road, you'll see each band usually has their own drum riser and then they roll in and out, which is cooler than having to have bands set up in front for the most part. So that is the answer, Mary. Uh, I went to a show at a pick of Blotzer and not to let him in. I'd love to know what show that was. Uh, let's see. What Blotzer's band? I try not to talk about too much about Blotzer anymore. I did this funny expose where I named his band. He had a rehearsal and nothing happened. Which is what I said would happen. Nothing happened. No shows happened, and I don't think anyone really wanted to deal with him. But um, it's hard for me to say nice things about him. He watches, by the way. I mean, I'm sure he's watching right now. I would like to not always like make fun. I've done that, but this is a guy who, when I had cancer, wished me said it was karma, and I don't know, wished me death or something terrible. So it's hard for me to be nice. I say that Matt Thorne is the bass player for me. If I had to see Rat continue, that would be my choice. I think that he's the best bass player. I don't need people dancing around. That's just not for me. I saw someone here say they wanted to see a live Back the Funk Up tour. And now I can't find. Here it is, Chris. I'd rather I'd rather hear spelled wrong. Matt Thorne Back the Funk Up. There it is right there. By the way, we sold so many copies of this thing. And Matt has been licking stamps all day and all night, and he's running out of ink. He uses a feathered pen to sign these, but you go to his Shopify, mattthorne.myshopify, and you can get one. Um, anyway, I'm trying not to be so negative. It's at the Rose in Pasadena. Nice. Very. That's a funny story. Juan made fantastic contributions to RATT discography. Sadly, but yeah, sometimes what's best for the fan isn't what's best for the band. Some people are really difficult. I've never heard a member of RATT really say a nice thing about Juan. That's not me, in my opinion. I'm just telling you. If somebody said, "Who is the problem with that band?" it'd probably be him. I don't know. All right, this might be boring, but yeah, Matt Thorne, all the way. This is a hard question. I'm not good at these. My brain is not good at these. Like, if you have to send them in advance, if you could see anybody get together, your four power players from any band, who would they be? I think you're asking me maybe to assemble, and obviously you're a fan of Wednesday 13, Ms. Barbie, Bitch, 666, Deviant Double Top. I'd like to see all four of the original Ramones alive again, but I'd have to think about that. Hey, there's Will with a nice super chat. Thank you so much. Where's Scott Coogan been? I don't know. He's been playing with Ace Frehley, from what I've last heard. Matt's a cool cat, but Johnny wins the trophy. Not sure what trophy you mean. Maybe guitar playing or Special Olympics? Either one. Johnny is all right. I'm sure Johnny will be back later this week. Let's see. I hope to get it next month. I like Matt a lot. Nice. Matt seems cool. It's great to see Stephen around. And yes, such a contrast between one and Matt. Yes, one plays, another dances. Okay. Did you ever see the clips of Warren playing Whitesnake? I did. Warren was great, but it was odd. Yeah, well, I don't want to say too much. What if Warren's going to be back in RATT tomorrow, and I got to see him every day? Um, he was in Dio, he was in Whitesnake, and it didn't work out. I saw him play at a thing called Zappa's Universe, where Frank Zappa got sick. Frank Zappa was a huge Warren DeMartini fan, and Warren came in and played with Dweezil Zappa, and he was great, and it was fun to see him play something different than RATT. A lot of people have criticized him and saying that he's so good at the style RATT, that for some reason he hasn't blended well with other bands. I don't know if that's a fact. If Warren would ever come on, that would be a good question, though. What happened with these other bands? Uh, okay, I'm going through. Do you think Van Halen will ever get together to honor Eddie? That's a tough one. No one thought Pantera would do what they're doing, and I've said before, I don't think the brothers would approve, but I think those guys have a right to do it. And fans who are younger, maybe who never got to see him, have a right to hear the guy who sang the songs sing the songs. As far as Van Halen goes, Dave's taken a lot of shots at Wolfgang, and I think in order to do a tribute thing, you would have to have Wolfgang involved in some capacity. He pretty much is probably controlling his father's estate. Alex has a book to promote, but I don't know if he would play. I think you could see some sort of show to honor Eddie. It's long overdue, but I'm not sure you would see a version of Van Halen. If you did, you would like to see Dave, Alex, Michael Anthony, and then I don't know who you have play guitar. Not John Five, but I don't know. Or you have a different guitar player play on each song. Maybe some friends of Eddie, Steve Lucas, or people like that. But anyway, I don't think it's going to happen. Oh, Melanie says Warren was one of her heroes, guitar heroes growing up. And let's see. Any new concerts you're going to see this year? Well, and that's from Brandon Bergfeld. I don't keep track as much as I used to because I'm on the road so much that I it's hard to make plans. I wanted to go see Bruce Springsteen the other night. I didn't feel like getting out of the house. So I'm gonna go see. I'm gonna go to the Sick New World to see Wednesday 13 here in Las Vegas with a lot of bands that I don't like, or not that I don't like, just not a fan of. But Danny Elfman's there. That's pretty cool. Um, let's see. Okay, let me look at some of these questions, and hopefully I'm answering properly. Okay, YT is still an idiot. If you guys didn't know, there was a guy named Chris when I started the show, and he was the resident idiot. And he finally left, unless he came back as YT. But now YT is just the king of stupid questions. Okay. Francis says, I'm looking great. Well, thank you. I will take that. Will, thank you, Will. If SEP retired, when I was a kid, I didn't know what SEP stood for. I didn't know why they called him SEP. I thought it was stupid. But it is Stephen Eric Pearson. After booking 1,000 of his flights, I realized that. Would you tour manage Sebastian Bach? I love Sebastian Bach. I think he might be difficult. Sounds crazy, right? I uh, I don't know. Might have to sit and talk and see what he wanted. I don't think it's going to be something that comes up, and I'm not sure that I'm looking to tour manage. I don't know. Mm, I'm a I'm an influencer now, and I can tell you that if Steven were to retire, uh, I would do daily videos. I would go show you other places I go. I'm thinking about going live from the Tropicana Hotel this week. It's going to be torn down next week or closed and then torn down. So, hold on one second. I believe that I had to put someone in timeout. Um, I'm looking at everything here. Will Stanley ever co-host? I wouldn't. I wouldn't rule it out. What is this? Did you meet up, or were you too young to meet Robin Crosby? I went to an in-store at HMV Records. I think Richard Branson might have done that. Maybe not. I don't know. I think he did. 86th Street in Manhattan. And they did a signing for Detonator. And that night they were playing a small venue, maybe Lamore's in Brooklyn. I mean, it was the end of RATT. But Robin was there. He had a beard and a mustache. He looked like Big John Studd, the wrestler. And I did get his autograph. Warren was not there. They said that Warren was sick. They auctioned off a guitar, it wasn't an auction, it was a giveaway. It was a shitty Fender Strat, signed by everybody but Warren. And I knew the guy who won it. I should ask him. He's on my social media. I should ask him, do you still have that guitar? And then we can go and see about adding Warren to it. Jason, show idea. Punk bands that hard rock and metal fans should give a listen. Yeah, I think that's something that we can do. When I was growing up, I didn't really think of the differences. People who were into thrash kind of looked down upon people who were into glam, but I preferred glam music myself. I didn't really get the look. You couldn't dress like that where I was in New York, and uh, and so but I listened to punk, I listened to metal, I listened to glam, I listened to everything, and so anyway, yeah, maybe one day we could talk about that. Will they do tours at Liberace's Nevada mansion? I lived behind Liberace's Nevada mansion. They did do tours at some point. It's been kind of remodeling, so I'm not sure it's the same. And yes, I believe that one idiot changed his name to the name of another idiot. Hair metal meltdown. I think that's the show in Anaheim. Yeah, Stephen Pierce should be on it. He should be headlining it like he headlines all of those shows. But who knows? Promoters pick weird things. I don't like to say anything about other bands we play with. But when the show is over, like I mean, when my tour managing days are over, the next day is going to be the greatest episode of Wasting Time with Jason Green you've ever seen because I can let it all fly. Uh, Do you think if Robin was still here, the guys would find a way to make it work despite putting the volume on? No, no. I mean, I don't know. This is a question for Steven, who might say the opposite. His addiction problems were so bad and his health was so bad, uh, that I don't know. I couldn't imagine him not going down that path. Had he stayed clean, maybe in 98, 99, when things started coming, maybe. I know Steven would have liked to have thought that, but, I again, I don't know the guy, but I don't think, it would happen. Okay, you have to do a show about the Tropicana. Yeah, I went with Johnny to see Rich Little there, and I filmed a little bit, but might be a chance to go. This is it. Tropicana had a lot of history. There's not much to look at anymore. It's actually very disappointing. Oh, Drizzler's here. I don't want to give you too much attention, Drizzler, because then you might start spamming. How did you get into tour management? Mint. Also, what artists got you wanting to play music and writing entertainment stuff, movies? Well, that's a lot of good questions at once, Greg. Thank you. Tour management. I started working with a band called. I created a band called the Sin City Sinners to play my company's parties, and we would get sort of corporate gigs we traveled for, and I was a tour manager by default, um, and so I sort of learned how to do it. Then I went on tour with other bands where I had different titles. With Winger, they called me the brand manager. Kip came up with that, and I would tour with them, and I would learn from other tour managers. Most bands like Winger, the tour manager is also does front of house. Depending on who you're with, you can do that, but some people need someone who's more hands-on. Steven, I need to be with Steven before the show to get him to the venue, get him out of the venue, make sure they have what he likes, make sure the stage is the way he wants. If I was at front of house, it wouldn't work. Anyway, I did a lot of on-the job training. Bobby Blotzer at one point asked me to co-manage his fake rat and tour manage. Everything I learned from that was pointless. Everything that he thought a tour manager should do, no one else does. It's dated. Um, Wanting to play music is the Ramones. I mean, Twisted Sister was the first heavy metal band I heard. But I saw Rick Springfield on Showtime, and I wanted to play guitar because of Rick Springfield. He was cool, and all the chicks liked him. And then the Ramones, and I felt like, well, if Johnny Ramone could do it, I can do it. And like most idiots who think it's easy, it's not easy. I mean, sure, the songs have three chords and things like that at times, but it's not an easy gig to play. It's not easy to downpick for hours at a time. Blah blah blah. And the writing, I don't know. I like horror movies. And Trauma hired me. Anyway, I hope I gave you a decent answer. Okay. I'm trying to skim. Sometimes I miss the questions. Uh, uh, Danny Santos, just wanted to say thank you, brother. I totally enjoy your channel and keep the killer. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Hello, Jason from Paris, France. What does your role as tour manager Stephen Piercy band involve? What are the responsibilities? Frank, it's a question that gets asked constantly, and there's 300 people here, so maybe it's a good time to answer it. The way a Stephen Piercy tour or shows goes is like this. Last night, I spent all day, all night, well, maybe booking flights. That's the first thing I do. I book flights, and people live in different cities. So you got some guys in California, all different parts. You got some guys in Vegas, and then you have to try to sync it up where they all meet at the airport at the same time. You then advance shows. The key to tour managing, advancing shows. Now, I'm going to do a full show on tour managing soon, and it'll be a members thing. If you want to learn everything about tour managing, you can. But so you advance the shows, you get the promoters' information. I send a standard letter of what we need at our gigs. They have our. Sorry, this shirt is. Does it make me look sexy? It's not sexy. It's not sexy. Um, so you advance with them to make sure everything's ready, and to make sure that they have a car, a van, a limo at the airport, big enough to hold the band and the gear. All these kind of things. You basically Ask every question of what could go wrong, because when you get there, something will go wrong, something wasn't sent, something won't be understood. When you get to that city, you check everybody into the hotels. Um, make sure that those hotels are there. You get everyone in. You get Stephen in first. You you're responsible to send out an itinerary. Let everyone know where they're going to be, where we're going to go. You then make sure everyone goes to sound check. You make sure that everything is there that is needed, and then mainly um, you go get Stephen. You make sure that Stephen doesn't come to sound check and he doesn't hang out at the venue hours. He doesn't need to be there. He's been doing this for 50 years. And so, but making sure that he's ready, making sure that he has the information that he needs, whatever the obligations are. Sometimes you have to sign a few things or do a meet and greet. It's my job to make sure that Stephen has that information. Count in the merchandise. Make sure that the merchandise is there, is counted at the end of the night, count it out, make sure to collect, pay in most cases. Sometimes it's already wired. But anyway, I hope you liked that answer. Melanie wants to hear more about the fake Bobby Rat tour. One of these days, I will talk about it more. But right now, it's a little exhausting, and there's other rat stuff to talk about, or that may be happening. Boa says Jason is too sexy for his padlock, and I got to go back. Was Boa one of these guys like 75, live in Pahrump, male? It's okay if you are. The one guitar player that could fill in for Eddie is Nuno. I disagree. I think Nuno has such a Nuno sound that I don't see Nuno doing an Eddie Van Halen. He would not be on my list of choices. Uh, uh, but anyway, but I don't want to get into it too much. I'm not giving away any free tips, not yet. I'm in Memphis. Will Sep play before your guitars? Look, I want to go to Memphis. There's a lot of things I wanted to see. I wanted to see the hotel where Martin Luther King was assassinated. It's a land. It's a, what do you call it? Landmark now. The entire motel's been closed off with plexiglass over the door of the room that he was staying in. Everything is left the same. And it's a civil rights museum. The bus that Rosa Parks was asked to ride in the back of is also in this museum across the street. So I've wanted to see it. And of course, I want to see Graceland. I've never gotten to do it. So let's say, most places I get, it's because of work. So look, I hope I do. Okay. I'm glad Bo is laughing. Um, YT Johnson, you're a moron, but you're right. Vito Bratta could do a good Eddie Van Halen. I don't think he's coming out though. John Five is a big no. Ed Dweezil Zappa could 100% do it, and Eddie Van Halen liked Dweezil Zappa. They were friendly. Do you see Steven retiring anytime in the near future? That metal interview podcast, is this on the record? I don't really want to comment too much on the future because there's stuff that's unwritten, and there's stuff that might be secret, and there might be surprises for you. There's a lot of things that I know that a lot of people don't know, but I can't tell you. Not yet. Yeah, I'd like to do it. Sun Studios, all of these things. I'd love to do it. Let's see. I mean, sure. I mean, Steve Vai. I don't think he's really an Eddie style guy either, but you never know. All right. I should. Drizzler with a $1 million question. What is your favorite food? Well, I like Italian food the most. That is my favorite. That is why I'm so fat because I just someone's offering me $1,000 for Steven's used underwear. I don't think he wears them. If you see the videos of his package, I don't think he wears them. So while you were trying to be funny, we can't make the sale. Uh, I want to make sure I point this out because I would stay here and chat all day. 300 people. I appreciate you guys. Welcome back, Mr. Holiday. Uh, Italian is not diabetes friendly. Very true. Wow, you guys are asking great questions. John Doe, any chance of horror actors? Yes, yes. I'm going to talk to Sean Clark about some more of those. If you saw Sean Clark on the show last week, we discussed maybe himself. He's a drummer, Wednesday 13, and myself putting together a little all star kind of convention horror band. He also mentioned that Stephen Piercy will be appearing with Ozzy Osbourne for 3 days at the Mad Monster convention in, I think it's called Glendale, Arizona. It's near Phoenix. So, um, I'll get back to some of these things because I want to make sure I uh, answer them all. But after this show, we are going to all go together in a single file line, peacefully and orderly, to the video day 7 and 8. It's a two-part episode. It is the final episode of my life on the road on the cruise. I'm posting the link right now. You can go and bookmark it in another window. You can do whatever you like with it. It's also in the description right now. This is a fun episode. I'm going to tell you, it starts with me getting up early in the morning and going to Debbie Gibson's dance class. Have you ever wondered what a Debbie Gibson dance class looks like? Well, right after this, you're going to find out. And I will tell you that episode 2, My Life on the Road, featuring Debbie Gibson, is over 40,000 views. For me, that's a great number. So if that one's 40,000, just imagine what me at her dance class is going to go for. And I'm going to tell you right now, her feet are bare the entire time. And I've learned that people are searching a foot fetish and finding my videos. And so this is going to be a big one, but we're all going to go watch it together. I'll be in the chat answering more questions and comments, talking along with you. It's about an hour, so get comfortable, take off some clothing, slip into something comfortable, get some popcorn, whatever it is that you do in your private time, prepare to do it. And so that's coming up right after this, link in the description. So make sure you come by. I also want to recap last week. We had such a fun week of guests. Johnny Monaco co-hosted with me on Monday. On Tuesday, we did the great candy debate. I've been smoking 2 packs a day of these candy bubblegum cigarettes. We did that. My friend Jay, the mod sometimes, photographer, Sin City Photog, he was there. He was the life of the party, as you could tell. Michelle was there, and Johnny Monaco as Paul Lynn. And we did discuss the candies. I think the 80s and 90s were the best. On Wednesday, I opened up the Halloween trading cards from Fright-Rags. If you'd like to get these or any other horror memorabilia, go to the description, click the link, and you'll get $5 off. That was, and Wednesday 13. Everybody loves Wednesday. He was here. And then Thursday, what are we doing Thursday? Oh, Sean Clark. Sean Clark was here from a horror convention, and we had a lot of cool horror conversation. And then Friday, Matt Thorne was here, and we spent a long time, and we had a great time. One of the things I like about having Matt on the show so much is that he casually will tell you, well, and then Ronnie said, and it's like, you mean Ronnie James Dio? Or, yeah, I was living with Jake Warren. You were living with Jake Ely and Warren DeMartini. He was on the Hearing Aid record. He did these big tours. He lived in Dio's house. Matt is so matter of fact and nice and zero ego. So anyway, Wayne says M&Ms are the greatest candy. Randy says he looked more like Charles Nelson Riley. I think you're right. I think I originally said Charles Nelson Riley, but I think he acted like Paul Lynn. Michelle did a great job in your absence the other day. Yes, I went to see a movie called RATT, and Michelle held down the party. I sent a message to Bill Allen. Bill Allen, the star of RATT. I sent him a message. He plays music also. I bet you will have him on the show. David Sterry of Real Life, who sang "Send Me an Angel," he will be here soon. So a lot of RATT going on. We went to RATT, and we thought it was going to be terrible. We thought it was going to be unwatchable. But it was great. It was really fun. And yeah, I mean, the Send Me an Angel bicycle dance scene was corny, but boy, was it fun. And I went home with the Ghostbusters Slimer popcorn vessel, popcorn sold separately. But I had to have this. Had to have it. and I haven't seen the Ghostbusters Frozen Tundra yet, but I will. So anyway, rad, a lot of fun. It was fun to see in the theater. Great music. This guy John Farnham, he's got great songs, uh, and so yes, and thank you BMX Assembly. Uh, okay, Drizzler wants to advertise his Instagram. I mean, I suppose Drizzler. Keep in mind that Drizzler is under. He's not of legal age, so follow him at your own risk. Jay, thank you so much. Loved all the content we put out last week. We're gonna get back to content today. We're just having a nice talk, uh, and yes, no mercy. Um, but yeah, we're gonna and there is an actor from the Karate Kid coming on soon too. Um, Not sure I should say his name yet, but he's coming. He had a big part. REO Speedwagon, we were supposed to do something, nothing happened. Michael Shanker is a guest. He's a bit difficult, but maybe he's on the Monsters of Rock cruise. Maybe I could talk to him a little bit. If you guys are interested in Drizzler 404 is where you can find more about him. If you want to follow me on Instagram, in order to be an influencer, you have to have 10,000 followers on Instagram. I don't have that many, but it's in the description. JSIN_green. Go take a look. Follow me. Maybe the better the channel does, the more I can do and the more content I can do. The goal is to go out. All these super chats are not wasted on me. It definitely helps. Oh, did I mention Colleen? Colleen, did I mention that you became a member? Well, welcome. Ron Grande, Jim Gallagher, and Colleen, thank you for being channel members. Will Ray, thank you for the super chats. Listen, I don't expect anybody to have to give. Not everyone has. I appreciate if you watch the show. If you like the videos, that helps. Like them. Tell a friend about this show. Make sure you tell your friends to subscribe. All of those things help. And then maybe we can start to do bigger things. Wednesday 13 and I will be going to Texas to visit the Texas Chainsaw Massacre House. And depending on his schedule and mine, maybe go to the Friday 13th camp. Will you be hanging out at M3 all day? I plan to. Molson Rules, nice to see you. I plan to. I plan to be there all day. I wanted to see Aldo Nova, and he goes on a little earlier in the day. And what else am I going to do? So I will probably be there. Maybe we can find the place where we can all get together. People have been asking me more about wasting some time. And so maybe we should find like a designated spot where we can all hang out. Some of these questions I don't understand. This is Rudy Saldivar Guitar, and I can't stop watching great content this past week. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that. And hit the like button, of course. And it was like what I'm saying. The idea is to do different things and have different people on. I like that you guys get to know my extended family of characters, and I never wanted to be the same. If every day we did the same thing, you would get bored. And then you'd watch one of these channels that has 20 viewers. Any interest in the new Beetlejuice movie? Yes, Beetlejuice. I'm interested. Yeah, I'm interested. I'm gonna go see it. This looks like some fun nostalgia. Okay, talk amongst yourselves while I have a sip of my tasty beverage. I'm drinking out of a Creature from the Black Lagoon mug for those of you uh, who are concerned. I've seen Rick Springfield live like 25 times, so I am a fan. This is the Goated Group. Was at Wednesday 13 concert and met someone there. We both talking about your show, which is great. I love it, and I love that Wednesday and I have an interesting friendship. I mean, he is in a different world, but we have so much in common, and he'll be back here Wednesday, and we'll talk about. I think we're going to do a show about uh, uh, t- uh, uh, TV shows, classic TV shows. Andrew Zen, is there a Jason Green biopic happening? Well, I can't officially say or not who is starring as Jason Green. Well, I would like Paul Dano, the actor, to play me. He looked like me when I was younger. In fact, I was going places a few years back, and everyone thought I was him. I'm much older than him. Uh, Carl would like to thank me for the 80s cruise videos. I love them all. Well, you have one more to go. Day 7 and day 8. What happens when we disembark? I love when people use these cruise terms. Oh, well, where do I disembark? Well, after we disembark, maybe I go to Disney World. And maybe I bring you along to Gatorland. Did you ever want to watch me feed an alligator? Did you ever think of it? Can you get Stanley and the Gray Cat on the show at the same time? Would be ever. I agree. Oh my God, your head would spin. Your head would spin. Taskmaster, a fan of Paul Dano. Let's hear from Jason's mother. Denise is right. My mother could tell you who could play me. Uh, I don't know. When I was a young kid, some people, young, very, look different. It's James Spader, Andrew McCarthy. Those are other people that somehow people thought I looked like. But I'll ask my mother. I think we're gonna have my mother back on the show soon. Yeah, how about a call in from Jason's mother? Well, let's do that this week. Let's set that up. Let's set that up. Hmm, thank you. Any idea when the set times are posted for M3? No, but I mean it's pretty. You can kind of guess it. Stephen Piercy probably goes on around 7, maybe 8, and then when he's done, everyone will leave. Uh, that's the spot to be in. All right. I appreciate everybody. Wow, you guys are so kind. We're at the 57-minute mark. 289 people still with us, and it's just me sitting here talking. And you guys seem to be having a good time. Cool gold top EP in the background. Yeah, that is a. I put these guitars around just for like to fill space. I mean, they are my guitars, and I do play them. But yeah, that's a 56 gold top Epiphone, blah blah blah, and that's the bass, and that's a green acoustic guitar. Everything's got to be green, apparently. Uh, does your mom display your Avon award? No, my days selling Avon are limited. So now, if you mean my AVN award, no, it's in my kitchen. Uh, who would dig having Mr. T on the show? Well, sure, I'd like to. Um, what's your favorite acoustic song to play? Probably "Can't Put Your Arms Around a Memory," Johnny Thunders. When I think of acoustic, I think of that. Mm, Cillian Murphy in a wig to play Jason. I think Michelle likes him, so maybe that. Michelle is in class. Michelle is about to graduate from law school. She's already graduated. She's getting a doctorate. Talk about smart. But so she's not here, but she would also have a good opinion on who should play me. Do you like Tom Kiefer's music? Yeah, I do. I like Cinderella. I'm not as familiar with his other solo music, but I've heard it live and I like it. So yeah, I would call myself a fan. Wouldn't it be great if next year you got a tour and it was Cinderella's Tom Kiefer, or call it Cinderella? Just get Fred and um, Eric. We have to get a new guitar player because Jeff has passed, and then Rat, right? Rat and Poison. Wouldn't that be a good tour? And then you could throw in one more band of your choice. If that happens, you heard it here first. Uh, you should also have Johnny's mom call in. Yeah, I agree. I would be up for it. I think maybe my mom and Johnny's mom. I'll read things that me and Johnny have done, and they have to guess who did it, me or Johnny, and it'd be interesting. See how well they know their children. In 2020, there was a tour. It was going to be Rat and Tom Kiefer, not Cinderella, and it was also going to be Slaughter and Skid Row. The bill was Slaughter, Skid Row, Cinderella's Tom Kiefer, and Rat. It had some silly name. There is talk about that tour happening again, but that's up to the future of Rat. So I'm Thank you very much. Yeah, someone says they'd like to see White Lion or White Snake or, but not Great White. Cinderella, Poison, Rat, Brittany Fox. Brittany Fox only if you get an actual lineup, and that goes to the Bullet Boys too. Brittany Fox is a bass player and nothing else. That's not good enough. Bullet Boys is the singer, but also not good enough. Uh, I think Winger would be good. All four original members. I mean, sometimes Winger is on these bills with bands that that they may be a little more talented. Um, Alex Kane sounds enthusiastic about seeing Stanley the other day. Any chance you can get an interview with him? Yes, Alex Kane's going to do the show. We're trying to figure out who's coming on first, Stanley or Alex Kane. They both have different things, and maybe at some point they'll come on. Yes, no air supply. White Lion, if you can get Vito Brada, he won't do it. Kicks if Steve comes out of retirement. That's not going to happen. Are you still having Pete Loran on? Yes. Yeah, he did get on stage with the fake trickster. Mm. He says he's coming on. He says he's waiting to have something to promote. We're running out of time. Can you believe that? We're running out of time. Uh, so what we're going to do is it's funny that you mentioned Michael Kelly Smith. I want to have him on the show. He taught your kid guitar. We're getting ready to talk about that. So soon as this show is over, all you got to do is go to the link in the description and watch My Life on the Road, the 80s Cruise, day 7. It's day 7 and day 8, to be honest. We snuck in uh, bonus content. And so you're going to want to watch it. We'll spend another hour together. I got to find some food, I think, at some point. But yes, Denise is correct. Single file line. Let's do this organized. Have you thought about getting another cat? It's something, yeah, but not now. Down the road, I think cats will be in my life again. I tore so much; it was very hard to go on the road and leave my cat, especially as Bitsy got older. I had other cats. I've had a lot of cats in my life. And it was always a hard thing, and I really was just beat. And this is the first time I have not had a pet in my life, and so I want to just I can go anywhere I want. I don't have to answer anyone. I can go anytime. I can go on cruises for 30 days. And so for now, that's the way. But one day again, is the bonus content Debbie's feet? Well, there's a lot of it. There's a lot of it. Well, Wayne's looking for a new cat. Somebody give him a cat that save an animal, please. Save an animal. Don't go to a pet shop. Your friend, the armchair detective, needs to do a show. Yeah, maybe this week. Maybe Nick will come on. Nick does a tour of Long Island where he shows you he solves crimes and things like that. Let's see who's not funny. Oh yeah, that'd be you. A Cabo Wabo. I'd like to hear more about your career in the adult business. Well, the only way that you're going to hear that is if you become a channel member. I think before the end of this month, I will do a tell all where I will, in fact, tell all about how I got in that business, how I got out of that business, all the people I met in that business, the stories, Jenna Jameson in a bathroom in France, all these things that you would maybe want to hear, and some of you wouldn't, but YouTube will not allow it. It will. I don't even know what I do. And I could also bring on some performers from that time to chat as well, but I can't do that on the regular show. So become a channel member or Patreon. It's going to both Patrons and channel members are going to get the same perks. For those of you who are still waiting for your welcome packages, they're going out every day. Every day I'm sending more and more, and we're going to do some special things just for you. Patreon is the only place to go to ask questions of the guests. If you want to ask questions, sign up for Patreon. Anytime I have someone coming on, I post it. You'll be able to ask a question, and then we'll read your name if we use your question. All right, I got to wrap up in a minute. I hope Warren is watching. We are waiting on you, dude. We're not getting younger. Well, I hope so. Okay. All right. All right. Why is Cheeseburger in Paradise closing? I don't know about that, but I do know that Margaritaville here in Las Vegas on the Strip is closing. And Jimmy Buffett's passed away, and I never really liked it. I don't know. The Strip changes all the time. Tropicana's coming down. That's coming down. I will be doing a video very soon, though. Junior's Cheesecake. I will be going to the brand new Junior's Cheesecake. It's a Brooklyn staple if you're from New York. The opened when Resorts World, and I will be going there to show you. People like YT comment things, but I have no idea. It's 1:05, hour and 5 minutes into the show. This is your last chance to like. It's your last chance to comment. It's your last chance to subscribe, and it's your last chance for super chats. Uh, hold on. I don't know if Zach is an idiot, but I think he is. So anyway, he's banned. Um, okay, I got distracted. So in exactly 8 minutes, the next video is going to start. If you've never done one of these premieres, go to the video and then you'll get the live chat feature and we can all chat along. Um, and, hold on. Get rid of one more idiot for the road. Okay. And sorry. You should do a stream where you quiz Matt on his pop culture knowledge. You know, Justin, if you had a time machine, a DeLorean, you made a time machine out of a DeLorean, you could go back and watch Friday's episode where I did just that. So you're going to want to go back, watch it. It was good. He did better at trivia than you think. See on this side. Yes, of course. And all right, guys. It was fun. Should we do it every day this week? Tell me right now. You want me to come back tomorrow? You want to do a show every day? You want me to film content every day? Would you watch a daily vlog if it was me going to different places? Would you want to see me live from the Tropicana? Would you want to see me at Junior's Cheesecake? If you did, then I can do that. Can we keep this going? Will you guys keep watching? I would like to see you keep watching. Uh, this is a lot of people tonight. So, all right. It looks like it's a resounding yes. It seems like people are enjoying. So, as of now, I'll be back tomorrow. How about that? I don't know if I'll have a. I don't know if I'll have a tour diary afterwards, but we're going to do a lot more. And I appreciate all of you. Look at all these nice people. So I won't be able to do daily shows when I'm touring. Oh, look who's here, guys! Johnny Monaco. Johnny, maybe we could go eat. How's your diet? I'm always looking for someone to go have a bite to eat with. Johnny, maybe we could drum up some super chats. I only got 2 minutes. But if you'd like to see Johnny Monaco and I go have dinner, that's a possibility. Johnny, as soon as this is over, I'm going to get the next video started. And then if you want to eat, text me or whatever. And everybody, and thank Johnny Monaco for tuning in. Even when he's not here, he's here. See? So he's an all right guy. A lot of fans of Johnny watching. Happy to see Johnny. And one day this week, Johnny should come on the show. He will, I think. Why not? Pretty soon, Johnny's gonna have a record to promote, and it's good. I've heard a lot of it. You guys are gonna like it. If you think that this was the number one instrumental funk bass record, wait till you hear Johnny, the most avant-garde, progressive pop power record in Las Vegas. All right, thank you guys, and I'll watch you in the. Go to the second location. Normally they say don't do that, but for now, go to the go to the next location. There it is again. All right, I'll see everybody tomorrow at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We'll have a special guest with us, and we'll see how long we can do this before I blow my brains out. Oh, apparently, they know Johnny's middle name. Hmm. All right, guys, I pushed this as long as we can. We only got 5 minutes to get to the place, and I told you for me it takes an hour to get everywhere. So I'm going to go into my bedroom now, and I feel like in my mind I got to leave an hour for that. All right, we'll watch the tour diary. Bye now. Thank you guys. See you in a little.